Welcome to HITC Sport and Sue! Am I doing it right? Do I sound enough like a mother cow mid-coitus? Honestly, Man United fans, they've been dreaming for years to one day see the great Cristiano Ronaldo, the prodigal son, one day scoring for them again. They've had 12 years to think how they might celebrate this moment, and they choose to go Sue. In Aussie, it sounds like you're booing him. Christ above, I had an aunt, Sue. She was someone who used to knit about 14 jumpers a day and wasn't really all there because she used to feed me Tipex for lunch. Alright, this is your weekly roundup of the Premier League games this weekend. Christ above, I'm sure most of you didn't even watch the highlights. I'm guessing this has the lowest ratings of Match of the Day for years because most of you sadacks out there probably spent your Saturday evening staring at teenagers on the internet. I'm just talking about the tennis final. Man United versus Newcastle. But yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo must have the most boring lifestyle of all time. So guys, look at this man's conditioning. A 36-year-old man with abdominals stronger than my teeth. To be fair, it doesn't help that I brush my teeth with butter and a finger. Good Christ, I use toilet water as mouthwash, but still, I don't get it. Ronaldo, once again, dragging out 2 goals and his second debut against Newcastle. This was the most hyped debut ever seen in Premier League history. Honestly, before this game, this didn't look like a football match at Old Trafford. No, it looked like a concert for Take That. Are Take That still popular? Probably not, considering Robbie Williams' forehead looks like it was made of wax. But Ronaldo delivered. How? How is he in such great shape? Good Chris, Wayne Rooney was his colleague at Manchester United. The Derby County boss is younger than him, and he looks like he probably smells like Fred Flintstone's feet. If you try to touch Rooney in the stomach, your finger will probably get lost in his belly button. But Ronaldo, what does he eat? Nothing but chicken and rice 6 times a day? Does he spend his afternoons watching Home and Away with the cat before it lights out by 9 p.m? Honestly, imagine being Ronaldo's son. I mean, whenever your birthday rolls around, no, you don't get a cake. No, instead you get to nibble on a bowl of low-fat cauliflower. And what do they have for breakfast? Shreddies, Cocoa Pops, Frosties? No, Ronaldo probably treats something like this as if he was laced with heroin. Good Christ, around the breakfast table, instead of a jug of orange juice, he's force-feeding a protein shake down his son's throat. I mean, probably. How fun! But remember when Ronaldo taught Lingard some skills at Carrington Training Ground? Yeah, that was 18 years ago when Emma Raducanu was an unborn fetus. And now they're scoring in the same match? What I don't understand is how Ronaldo is still desperate to win at 3 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon against Newcastle. Honestly, where does he get the motivation to try and break down a 5-man defense? Spending 90 minutes being pushed around by a 14-stone defender 10 years younger than him. Ronaldo has a net worth of what, £500 million? He's halfway to $1 billion. We've seen money has ruined many athletes in the past. I mean, good Christ, the working class hero Conor McGregor now is the hunger of a broken lunchbox. But Ronaldo, he was playing Newcastle in the Premier League back in August 2003 when he replaced Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on the pitch with 30 minutes left. This guy was scoring hat-tricks against the Toon 13 years ago. That was over 700 weeks ago. I can understand how a fit and hungry 23-year-old Ronaldo would have been desperate to chew the likes of Newcastle for breakfast then, but now the man's got 5 Ballon d'Ors. He has nothing left to prove. This is like Ed Sheeran continuing to busk on the London Tube. After 20 years of living like the model pro, is he not tempted to go and eat a chicken burger? Is he not bored of his bowel movements constantly smelling of tuna, creatine and depression? Does he really still enjoy 3 ice baths a goddamn day? Most athletes in his position, they'd probably knock it on the head. You know, maybe indulge a little now. But him, he'd probably rather shoot himself in the face than ever touch a Jaffa cake. Ozzy, toss him a packet of crisps and he'll treat that as if you're throwing a grenade at his face. This man is the king of self-discipline. He probably mows the lawn with ankle weights on his feet. He probably locks himself in a cryotherapy chamber 4 hours a day. But this was an incredible debut, utterly ripping through Newcastle with 2 goals. I mean, the media right now are lapping it up. But what they won't tell you is that both goals were Freddie Woodman errors. I get it, okay? The kid was starstruck. I mean, during Ronaldo's first spell in England with Manchester United, when he was lifting the Ballon d'Or and Champions League for the first time, Woodman was a 10-year-old schoolboy stuffed in the Crystal Palace Academy. So coming up against Ronaldo on Saturday afternoon, I'm guessing he's more distracted than David Cameron at a pig farm. But let's be honest, most Manchester United fans on planet Earth would have spent Saturday afternoon chewing a hole in their cheeks. Honestly, 72,372 people piled into Old Trafford to witness Ronaldo's debut. Everyone else weren't invited to the party. I mean, could they not have scheduled this game for any time other than Saturday at 3 p.m? This is Ronaldo's second debut. How? How is it not available on British television? I guarantee you, a huge chunk of you out there are probably tuning into this game on a dodgy Chinese stream on your phone, which honestly looks like it was being broadcast through a tin of Heinz baked beans. But obviously, I hope none of you did that, because I think that anyone caught watching an illegal stream should as punishment have their fingers cut off with a bread knife. Placing the Ronaldo debut at 3 p.m. though, it does seem mental. This is a worldwide event. It's like choosing not to broadcast a moon landing. Christ above, the scoreline though, was anyone surprised? 3 of Newcastle's last 4 matches against Man United have all ended 4-1, and even the odd result out, that was 3-1. We get, okay, ever since Matty Longstaff scored the winner in October 2019, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made it a point to crush Steve Bruce's tactics into chunks of wet cabbage ever since. Man United look like a scary proposition this season though. Honestly, this is their strongest starting 11 since 2009.
Oh, Man United need to get the best out of Paul Pogba!
Yeah, he's got 7 assists in 4 matches. I hope Graham Souness wasn't getting a haircut during this match, or he'd probably have demanded the barber shove his scissors in his eye. To be fair though, I never thought I'd see the day that Luke Shaw created a goal for Ronaldo. I mean, 4 years ago, I didn't think this guy was so much a Manchester United standard left back, more so an escaped Teletubby, or at the very least something that looks like he should be living with Snow White. But right now, he's the best left back of planet Earth. I love Jose Mourinho, but even he must feel like biting off his own thumbs. Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. Remember when I said Odside Edouard is going to be a brilliant Crystal Palace signing?
Oh, Irish guy said Edouard would do well. Now you know he's gonna wait until March to score a goal. Now his career is cursed. He's gonna resemble David Bellion in a wig.
Yeah, no. He's now played 6 minutes of Premier League football, scored 2 goals. 4 years, Palace had an attacking artist like Wilfried Zaha, but kept giving him lumps of butter to play with up front. Honestly, for years you've had bags of skill on the wing. A player would probably rip it up in the Bundesliga for someone like Borussia Dortmund if given the chance. You've had him on your books and partnered him with static lampposts with the predatory instincts of a broken suitcase. But this is the perfect combination, the perfect marriage. Forget those desperate nerds who read Twilight. This is all about Zaha and Edward. That was a terrible joke. But for Nuno Espirito Santo, 3-0 to Crystal Palace. I like Japhet Tanganga, he's got a big future ahead of him. But right now, yeah, I know Santo looks like a homeless Santa Claus. He's always smiling, looks like a nice guy who constantly walks around with a school bag full of toys. But no, this morning he must feel like slapping his naive defender in the face with a wet fish. Tanganga is 22, he's not a child. But this was only his 16th ever senior league match. But still, he barges Wilfried Zaha to the ground and immediately has the guy screaming in his face with the Sellers Park crowd fans baying for a card. Okay, in that instance, walk away. Don't get involved. Don't grab Zaha and force him to do the waltz. I mean, seriously, why are you still hugging him? This isn't Barry the Big Blue House. He doesn't want a hug. Why are you continuing to touch him? This is like when Joe Biden kept stroking the face of children. I mean, I think I don't read much news. It needed both sets of players to unlock this unwanted bear hug, which begs the question, what was Tanganga's end goal here? Did he want to kiss him on the pitch? Of course his head was gone, and of course he was sent off minutes later. Great win for Palace, and for Patrick Vieira, a former Arsenal captain, this must have felt wonderful. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Romelu Lukaku is lethal. Everyone used to moan about Lukaku having the touch of an ice cream cone. I'm sorry, most people who said this were permanent couch potatoes who probably had arthritis in both wrists. You know, from reaching for the Pringles every 13 seconds of the day. The Man United fans every weekend for years.
Oh, Lukaku's touch! Lukaku's touch!
Yeah, unless it was Father O'Reilly's touch, you've got nothing to complain about. Trust me. But right now, sorry, Lukaku's got one of the best first touches in the league and is a goal-scoring monster. I mean, put Timo Werner in that role of centre forward and I'm pretty sure Tyrone Mings would have treated this game like an afternoon picnic down the park. Honestly, you might as well have tucked into a plate of egg sandwiches because we even saw during the international break for Germany, Werner is not a goal scorer. But Lukaku, he's everything a centre forward should be. And again, smashing in 2 goals, helping Chelsea win what should have been a tricky match by 3 goals. This was an emotional moment for Lukaku. He's had a connection with this club since childhood because of the current Burton Albion coach. Yeah, it's weird, right? But he even said himself, he started supporting Chelsea from the age of 10 after he saw Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank crack in a volley at Old Trafford. And because of that, Chelsea were the only club he was ever going to leave Inter Milan for. So yeah, Chelsea fans, if you do win the league this season, you should probably give a league winner's medal to the guy who currently coaches Daniel Jebison in the League One relegation battle. You know, the guy who probably eats Cocoa Pops with a fork in a rundown bed and breakfast on the outskirts of Stoke-on-Trent. Good old Jimmy. I mean, to be fair, Villa played pretty well for most of the match, although the old-fashioned strike force of Danny Ings and Ollie Watkins, no, on paper it should have worked, but it's a bit like a few years ago when DC stuck both Batman and Superman in the same movie. I'm sure the initial prospect and the trailer made the comic book nerds across the planet drool down their chin. In reality, it was about as entertaining as spending 2 hours of your Saturday afternoon cleaning the gunk out from between your granny's toes. Watford versus Wolves. This was such an important win for Wolves. They started the season poorly, and honestly, if they didn't score here, they'd be in a relegation battle. This was much needed, and to be fair, they got the job done 2-0, although for Watford, this was such an ugly result. Cisco Munoz, if you want to keep your job past Christmas, you need to start making Vicarage Road a fortress. Beating Aston Villa the opening day of the season was a great start, but this just a bit worrying. Arsenal versus Norwich. So Arsenal won, squeezing out a 1-0 win over Norwich at home. I'm not even an Arsenal fan, and even I'm frustrated by this. An Emirates Stadium season ticket cost £2,000. At least in the stagnating last few years under Arsene Wenger. No, you never sniffed at a title race, but they were at least able to put on a show against these sort of teams at home. Good grace, Jack Wilshere scored arguably the greatest team goal ever seen in English sport against Norwich back in 2013. In Wenger's last 9 home games, mostly against bottom half sludge, the team scored 33 goals, conceding just 5. These were the games the Gunners used to win with their eyes closed as recently as 3 years ago. But now, the Arsenal starting 11 on Saturday cost a combined £315 million, with an extra £150 million sitting on the bench. Norwich, by comparison, their squad's probably worth less than a packet of Tuck crackers. Although I cannot tell you my excitement to see Irish teenage defender Andrew Omobadele making his Premier League debut, keeping the likes of Ben Gibson and Ozan Kabak, you know, media darlings who've somehow spent their careers being linked with Champions League clubs, despite actually being brain-dead pigeons on the pitch, keeping them on the bench. Go on, Andrew, you utter legend. But yeah, as for Arsenal, how boring and dull is this? Leicester versus Man City. This was a brilliant win for Man City. They lost to Leicester in the Community Shield. They were beaten by them last season too. This could have been ugly, and if Leicester managed to win here, if Jamie Vardy's goal had stood, then Pep Guardiola's team would already be under pressure. They needed to win this game, and Bernardo Silva, I said it since the start of the season, he is a better player than Jack Grealish. And he scores the winner. Brentford versus Brighton. Not sure. Fell asleep. Next. And with that, let me know what do you think, alright? Let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.